welcome back to another episode of the Sand Shark Rewind presented by Tanger Outlets of Hilton Head. I'm your host, Brackin Lambert, alongside my man, Wes Kerr. Wes, we took a week off last week because I was out of town. I was at a wedding. So we are back, another full-fledged week of USCB athletics. First and foremost, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great, and I have been following the tremendous success of this women's soccer team alongside the other fall sports. It's been a great time to be a Sand Shark, and I'm doing great. Nice weekend, beautiful weather, a little warm, but I'm pumped to be back on the Sand Shark Rewind to talk all things USCB athletics and a really fun start to the fall season.
Yeah, it really has been. And today was definitely a hot one. We had softball media day, and we got out there out to Hardyville. So we got to see the field for the first time this season. And it's looking great. Got some new banners up there. But we're going to get ready and start with our head coach, Dan Huff. We're going to bring him in and talk about this long road trip. And we're finally getting to come back to the friendly confines of Finland this coming Saturday. So let's go ahead and welcome in Dan. Dan, how's it going, man?
Doing well. Thank you, gentlemen. How are you?
Great, man. Doing well. So big win, man. Let's talk about the big win against Georgia Southwestern this past weekend. Yesterday, actually. I don't want to talk too far ahead of it, but a great win. You guys got home super late last night, but you come out with a 2-0 win and you get 2 points in the 2 or 3 points in the standings. So
3 points, yeah.
Yeah, I always like to remind the team that, the bus ride home feels that much shorter when you win as opposed to how much longer it feels when you lose. So that's always a motivating factor. But yeah, huge win, first game of conference. It's just about putting points on the board. 0 goals conceded, also a great start to conference play, and keeping our unbeaten record. That's everything to us right now.
Yeah, unbeaten to start the season and another clean sheet. You've had a couple of those to begin the year. But I think the big takeaway is Sophia Willis scoring 2 goals, but not just 2 goals. She did 30 seconds apart from each other. I mean, that is just incredible stuff there from your freshman. I mean, how shocked were you when she netted 2 in under a minute?
Yeah, very happy. I'm not sure what the record is, but that's got to be quite close. But yeah, 2 goals in just over 30 seconds, I think. Of course, inside a minute, the game has completely changed. All my freshmen this year have been excellent, and coming into the team and bringing whatever they've brought from wherever they're from is been excellent to kind of add those players to the roster, and they get in very good minutes. They're competing with some of our older classmen. It's a really good environment. Everybody's just pushing each other to be better. Huge win. First off, I couldn't wish for any more.
Yeah, speaking of a couple of those freshmen, we're going to be bringing in 2 of them here in just a few minutes. Kate James and Lauren Carmichael. They're going to join us here in just a few minutes. But yeah, that first road conference game is always going to be a tough one. Last year we had Columbus State on the road to open up everything, and we played most of our conference games on the road last year. But what's that set the tone that you guys are able to pick up those points on the road instead of having to have a must-win game technically this early in the season?
Yeah, definitely, makes the fixture list that bit more interesting. Just having certain teams come at home this year that we played away last year. I think we spoke last time I was on here about that, and it adds that kind of spice to the fixture. But to go away first game is always tough. So to bring back maximum points, no goals conceded. I would have bitten somebody's arm off for that before the game, so we'll take it for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's huge to get those points in there early in the season. You don't want to be chasing it. You want to be chasing that top 8. You want to solidify your spot there as early as possible. So, got to be a great competition, especially the way you guys perform on the road. I mean, continuing that unbeaten streak, but also picking up a couple of wins, including 2 of them. 2 of them on the road and 1 draw. So, I mean, 7 out of 9 total points. That's got to be really, really impressive for you for what this team has done early on, especially away from home.
Yeah, I think every athlete will tell you it goes against everything to sit still on a bus for 4+ hours before a game. It's exactly the opposite of what you want to do in the preparation for a big game like that. So to go away and, you know, get the rust out of the legs after a big 4 or 5 hour trip, you know, to still have that level of performance, that's excellent. And, you know, it shows we're preparing in the right way. And yeah, I couldn't be more proud of the team right now.
Yeah, that trip is one of the longer ones in conference, with going to Americas. It's what it's pretty far west in Georgia. So to make that trip and to come out on top is a huge thing. But let's talk about the road trip a little bit. You guys played 2 games against 2 tough Sunshine State opponents with at the time 21st ranked Lynn. You guys came out with a 1-0 victory, and then you had a draw with Palm Beach Atlantic. So tell me a little bit about that game last Saturday night against Lynn. That was definitely a tough game, and Sen was able to put the PK goal out there, and you guys were able to hold off that last offensive effort against them.
Yeah, another great performance. You know, beating a ranked team, that's going to be huge for our season. Lynn were an excellent team. They were really strong. I think they probably controlled 60+% of the game. A lot of our defending was, you know, really courageous. We were kicking and heading balls off the line. You know, my keepers were coming up with big saves. Yeah, a game like that, you know, I think barely anyone celebrated at the 90 minutes just because everyone was so tired from a 7-hour road trip. And then, of course, you know, running around the field for 90 minutes without the ball, it's not easy. So yeah, that was just a monumental effort to get it over the line. It wasn't the prettiest thing I've ever seen, but you know, we'll take the 1-0 and we'll run home with it for sure.
Well, that's also, there's like, let's talk about that. You know, you said that they might have controlled it 60-40, but in reality, they did not take a shot on goal. Emily nor Cece faced a shot. They had all of 2 shots, and both of them were off target. So I think that speaks volumes about your defensive line back there with your 2 leaders in Adriana and Aaliyah. And then you had a lot of contribution from Kate and Lauren and everybody else, Ellie, Lynn, all that kind of stuff. So it's a huge defensive standpoint, I definitely would say, for that.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I think our senior center backs have done an incredible job, not just, you know, on the field, but in terms of keeping everybody, you know, on the same page. I got 2 captains back there, really holding it down for us, just as we expected them to. And yeah, you know, my keepers might not have made the saves on the stats, but just coming out and collecting balls and, you know, collecting crosses, corners, organization. You know, it really was a monumental effort from the back going forwards. Everybody had to really grind. There was no hiding on that field. We needed all 11 players. So yeah, as a coach, those ones are probably, if anything, they mean that little bit more, just because, you know, it didn't go to the game plan that we expected, but at the end of the day, we were still able to get it over the line.
Wes, you got anything else for?
Yeah, no, yeah, I'm, you know, just going off of what we've seen with the production from this year. You know, what would you like to see improve upon what you've done in the 2024 season so far in terms of just the way you're going through them? Obviously, it's been a terrific start, but there's always things you'd love to improve on going forward. So, are there any pointers that you'd like to see this team take on as we get into the meat of the season?
Yeah, for sure. We got to score some more goals. That is kind of the main overriding thing over our, you know, our whole season. Is we've done excellently, but some of these games we could have put away in the first half, you know, scoring 3-4 in the first half where maybe we only get 1, or, you know, Georgia Southwestern, I think we probably had 5 or 6 really good chances in the first half that, you know, if we put 1 or 2 of them away, you know, the second half is a little bit more comfortable and we can play a little bit more how we want. So just, yeah, taking our chances is the main thing. I mean, we've scored a lot of goals this season. I'm definitely happy with our kind of attacking output. But yeah, just, you know, if we can take just make the that hit ratio just a little bit better, really, we could blow teams out of the water in the first 45 minutes, and it just makes that second 45 a little less stressful for coaches and fans. So if we can get the game done a little earlier, take some of these chances, that's really one of the only things I could hope for right now.
Yeah, that's gonna be it. Savannah went 5 for 6 on shots on goal with her shots, and but give credit where credit was due. That Georgia Southwestern backline definitely fought hard to keep us from scoring. I was screaming at my TV the whole time as those plays, and I was messaging Kat Pribenow, our athletic trainer. So I was like, "This, how did we not score in those situations?" But you know what? It doesn't matter. At the end of the game, we pulled it out and got the win. Dan, my last question for you before we let you go is North Georgia this weekend. We have a whole week to prepare for them. What is your thought process on this? It doesn't look as if they're as powerful this year, but they're a very tough team. We know that. We played a tough game against them last year in Dahlonega. So, but we have played so well at home. And I don't know if you know this or not, but North Georgia was the last team that actually beat us at home in 2022. So we have not lost since that game 2 years ago.
Yeah, that's huge. I mean, if we're still looking in a week from now, if we've still got that record, not being beat at home, we've done something really right, because that is a really good team in North Georgia. Every year they're there or thereabouts. So yeah, we're gonna prepare the right way, do what we've been doing, and just hopefully get the result, which is the main thing. Use that home advantage, like you spoke about. 2 years unbeaten at home. If we can carry that on, yeah, that'll be huge for us. So yeah, we'll face a very good team, but we'll be prepared.
Well, good. Well, Dan, thank you for your time here, my friend, and look forward to talking to you this week about getting ready for this game on Saturday. And they just got word back that there's Wi-Fi starting to get back on campus. We've been out for the last 24 hours.
Nice.
So, but all right, my friend. Well, great talking with you as always, and we'll catch up this week. All right.
Sounds good. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Dan Huff, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, Wes, that's a huge game coming up this weekend. I know you're excited for it. I think you and I were on the call 2 years ago when that game happened.
Yeah, you're right.
And I think it's absolutely great to see how well this team is ready to go. But let's take a quick break real quick, and let's have a little sponsor from somebody coming in real quick. We're just going to show this before we bring them in.
Watching a lot of soccer in the office lately. Seems to be causing a rise in workplace injuries.
Yep, first away trip. I'm really excited. I think it's going to be good.
I think it'll be a good trip. Some good competition.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, my ankle! I'm never going to play again! My ankle!
She'll be fine.
My ankle!
And with that, we're going to bring in our actress for that one, Lauren Carmichael. Hey, guys. Right. There we go. Yeah, you guys tune in just a little bit. Lauren Carmichael, Kate James, welcome to the show, guys. How are y'all tonight?
Good. How are you?
We're doing great. I mean, that video just makes me laugh every single time.
Me too.
Turn it on. I think it's got upwards of like 8,000, 9,000 views so far. So we have to go check the.
Wow.
I was hoping that would play as like a full ad. I need to add that as a video clip. That way we can play it as an ad.
Yeah, I was not expecting that.
Oh, come on. You knew that I had to do that. Bring it in. But let's get to the fun part. We talked a lot. We just spoke with Coach Huff, and the big thing is how do you guys feel so far about your first year, your first, few months as a collegiate athlete? You guys have both seen significant time on the pitch, and you both have played significant roles on that defensive line. So, Kate, let's start with you. How that's kind of been, you guys are making an immediate impact early on in your freshman year.
I mean, I just have to like thank the rest of the girls because they were just so welcoming and everything about it. And like the back line, all of the seniors that are the captains, they're so helpful with like communicating and everything. And especially like our goalkeepers, M and CC and Grayson, they all like communicate with us and just like really just help us through like getting adjusted to the team.
And Lauren, we'll kick that over to you too. You being on the left side, you being on the opposite side of Kate. How has that impacted? How has this been this transition for you as well?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it was like scary coming in, not knowing anyone. It's like a whole like different environment, but like all the players were like welcoming, and like the captains, like A and Lee, like the back line, they helped a lot. So I'm feeling good with the season.
And you guys are off to a heck of a start, unbeaten and 1-0 in conference play. A huge road win, 2-0, picking up another clean sheet shutout win over Georgia Southwestern. So how are the vibes after that victory coming back home, and how was the experience of seeing that first conference action this year?
I mean, obviously the vibes were good. We got 2-0 win, so it was our big first like win in conference. And yeah, we were all just really hyped after the game because yeah, we're unbeaten so far, and the previous away trip we had a big 1-0 victory against Lynn, so we made some history. And yeah, we're all just like we're on a good roll right now and excited for the rest of the conference. Yeah, I think the bus ride home was a lot better than like if we were to lose or tie. So it was good.
Yeah, that like Coach Huff said, that drive back is a little bit easier when you've got 3 points in your pocket.
Yeah.
So as this season has progressed and you guys have kind of seen the coaching style that Coach Huff has and Coach Emmett, how has that changed? Like what's the biggest difference between you guys just got out of high school, you're playing a spring season. I believe both of you guys played soccer in the spring, correct?
Yes.
So you guys are, not getting much of a break besides summer, and then you guys are here at the start of August. How has that been for you guys making that transition from high school to college?
Want to go or me? Yeah, I can start. Definitely in high school the pace was a lot slower than college. Like I came here and like our first couple practices, I was like, this is a lot faster pace than like what I'm used to. But as like time's going on, like I'm getting more used to it. So like the change is definitely big, but I think it's getting better. Yeah, obviously it was a little scary coming in because we're the freshmen to the rest of like the older girls. But I feel like it was just more of a competitive environment than what I faced in high school. So, but all of the girls are just really like welcoming and everything. And so it's been a good switch so far.
Absolutely, and it's been fun to see everybody make their contributions. Like it hasn't just been one player, two players. Everybody has really done a good job of embracing the role really really well and making the most of minutes they get in the field. So is that something that has been preached from Coach Huff about just that togetherness and playing as a unit instead of just focusing on individual play. You're playing as a collective whole, and I feel like I've seen that really well, produce on the field through the first few games.
Yeah, as this season has progressed, you guys, you're 4-0-2 right now. Realistically, we could very well be 6-0 if we really, there's a couple of games there. That first game against Southern Wesleyan, you guys, Lauren, you saw significant time there.
Yeah.
How has for you guys this big manage of this such a big roster where you guys, there are limits per the NCAA that can be there, but you guys just have made, like I said, made those impacts, and you're able to contribute, even when you may not be on the roster that day, where you can still contribute from, the opposite sideline.
Yeah, I mean, we all are just really big about being like a supportive team. And so we always preach about having each other's backs. So whether you're on the roster, you're on the bench, or you're on the field, we're always cheering for each other and always make sure to have each other's backs. And Coach Dan, he always preaches about it's time like you prove yourself.
So it's like any minute you can see on the field, it's your time to prove yourself. And so whether you're on the field or off the field, you're always make sure to support your teammates. We like to have a very like hype bench.
Yeah.
And to just make sure that the energy is high.
Yeah, like that's one thing, like I would say like in the beginning of the year, our like communication like from the bench like wasn't like the best. So that's like one thing we're like trying to work on, like our bench like getting more hype like whenever good plays are happening. So like that's like one thing that we like always work on.
Yeah, I remember it was the Emmanuel game. We had 20 corners in the first, or 19 corners in the first half.
Yeah.
And we almost set the single game record for how many corners we had.
Wow.
So that was a lot of fun. Wes, you got anything else before we I got one more question after this, but I'll let you go ahead.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how you all feel about the opportunity coming up on Saturday against a very good North Georgia team who it was one of the top squads in the conference. I mean, how pumped are you to show for yourself what this team can do against one of the better teams in the Peach Belt after what you've seen so far this week? How fired up are you for the opportunities that presents itself to you on Saturday?
Yeah, I mean, I'm really excited, obviously, because we're on a roll so far with being unbeaten and we're back at home. So obviously we have the little bit of home field advantage. So I'm super excited because we're facing, yes, one of the better teams in the Peach Belt, and I'm just excited to see how we perform as a team.
Yeah, I'm excited to show the other teams like what we have, like moving forward and just like showcasing like what we've worked on in practices. And I'm just excited to play against like one of the top teams.
Yeah, that's going to be a great opportunity for you guys to see a very well-rounded North Georgia squad, and to get ready. You know, that could be a potential semifinal matchup or quarterfinal matchup. Could even be, you know, get down to the finals. The goal obviously is to make the tournament, but you want to get that top 4 spot. We had that number 5 last year and went on the road to Lander, but this year we really want that 4 spot. So had a great time. So last question for you guys. The style of offense obviously has changed a little bit for what Wes and I have seen in the past for the last few years with the departure of Coach Harris. But both of you have made significant attacks on the offensive side of the ball, not just, you know, being part of the back line. Lauren, you've got like 6 shots on goal, I think. Kate, you've got a couple as well. Do you guys are you itching to try and get that first collegiate goal out of the way?
Yeah, I've been trying to get it since like game 1. I don't remember what team it was, but I shot it and it literally hit the crossbar. And
I think that was against Thing.
Yeah, ever since that I was like, I need to get it. I've been trying.
Yeah, I take every opportunity I can, but she's had more luck.
Oh, that's okay. No, I think it's great that you guys are having fun. I think that it's a special squad, and you guys really do have a terrific opportunity here, especially this weekend against North Georgia. Put the Peach Belt on notice. You know, Finland is a hard place to play, so we're hoping that everyone will you know, bring back this flood Finland and get out there, rain, shine, whatever, get out there and have fun and pack those stands and wrap the entire field with fans, because it's going to be a competitive game. So I'm really looking forward to it. So, but I want to thank you guys for coming on tonight. I know that it's with all this Wi-Fi issues we've had on campus, you guys are off campus now. So, you know, Emily said, you know, y'all are in her room, so, you know, maybe give her room back. It's time for bed. But again, thank you guys so much for coming on, and we will see you guys this week.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Awesome
Kate
stuff.
James and Lauren Carmichael, and we can see they're just getting all the reactions. Everybody's having fun. So yeah, Wes, we'll talk just a few minutes until we get our next guest in here. But we've talked about it all season long, is that this is a special squad, and this game has been circled on the calendar from the jump, that, you know, you're bringing in I believe they won the regular season title last year, if I'm not mistaken. And this time, it's a great opportunity for us to really show what we can do. You've got three terrific goal scorers with Savannah Page, Izzy Amphlett, and Sophia Willis. And then you've had contributions all up and down the lineup with Sin by Anderson really putting together a strong campaign. Hasn't pulled any stats yet, but had terrific opportunities. Kristen Beltasad, again, a solid member of this midfield for the last 4 years. And then I love seeing the impact that Jenny Hespe has had, Lene Lowen. Everybody's like really contributed up and down this entire lineup.
Yeah, I mean, it leads to my point earlier about the contributions. It hasn't just been, one player, two players, especially the underclass and like the sophomores and the freshmen who have really done a great job bonding amongst everyone else and just producing a talented set of players behind the Sin by Anderson, the Savannah Page. Obviously, those two have stood out just like they have all their careers. But you're looking at, especially with Sophia Willis, I mean, that breakout. So you have that breakout freshman once in a while. We saw with Paige. I mean, remember Paige? I don't know if you were. I don't know if it was before you were there. You were there. Okay, you were there in a different position. But Savannah Page was. I mean, when she came on, she contributed immediately, and it kind of feels similar to what we're seeing with Sophia Willis now, because once you get that first one, she is now scoring bunches, 2 in 30 seconds. Kind of following the footsteps of Jenny Hespe, who did it in a prior game last year in 2 goals in less than a minute, which is very hard to do in soccer, by the way.
Yeah, it's tough, but they like we said, this is going to be an exciting team, and
they're a fun team to watch. And the way they play defense, obviously they've gotten some great work in goal from Emily Worrell, as well as the number one.
CC Powell. Yeah.
CC Powell's been tremendous as well. So it's been a great effort in goal. Then it all goes back to Aaliyah White, Adriana Martin, and that back line with experience. You really need to have that experience defensively. That is so important. That pays dividends as you get forward, especially in conference play where you're going up against very strong players from across the board. So, I'm excited to see how they play against the top, because I think that they have shown they can be anybody in this conference. And it's cool to see just at this point, when this team is only still not even a full member of the transition, the last year of their transition period, and already you're seeing a team that is competing with the best. And I expect them to show their best effort yet and find a way to make it competitive and try to steal, which would be an enormous win if they can get it home. And I'm just really excited because this is what you play for. You grow. I think the schedule kind of works out well for this. It worked out really well for this team because you got that experience against some of those teams that you should beat, and now you're going into these bigger games, and this is the opportunity you have presented itself to really stand out against some quality opponents. So I'm just really excited for the opportunity that this team is going to earn, and I'd love to see them pull out what would be a huge program win. I mean, this would be one of the bigger program wins if they can get it, especially against a very, very good Peach Belt opponent in North Georgia. And I just think Dan Huff and these players are ready to seize that opportunity. It's just a really exciting time to be a fan of the Sand Sharks, and just every year it seems like they just exceed expectations. I think going back to 2 years ago when they started out, they won their first 5 games all in shutout fashion. That was exceeding expectations. That was their first opportunity to play Peach Belt teams that year. They were the first year of the transition period. Second year of transition period, you saw a big improvement. And obviously you had Mari Kovatin leading the way as a senior, and you start to see others developing and helping out as the year goes on. You have that home, that perfect record at home. You won all your home games, and you were competitive. You were competitive in the postseason. You took that quarterfinal to penalty kicks. Yeah. And so now you just keep building on it, and you try to get better every year. And this team has already exceeded my expectations so far. Not just the results. Obviously, the results are the biggest part, but I think the other big part, and you could say it's bigger as a coach, is development. You want to see wins are important, but you also want to see how these players compete and how, and especially younger players. And in every which way, this team has exceeded the expectations that I've had for them so far, and it's just really fun to see what can develop going forward. And I'm just really hyped to be a part of it and ready to get back on the mic on Saturday and call it. Should be another terrific contest. I'd love to see them get the win, but it's going to be an absolute battle against the Nighthawks team that has proven year in and year out there at the top of this conference. But no matter what, it is an exciting time to be a fan of the USCB Sand Sharks soccer squad right now.
Yeah, it's gonna be a great game. Again, flood Finland, and let's pull out a big win. But let's talk about another up and coming. I don't even say up and coming, an exciting team in general. Is going to be our USCB softball team, and we're going to bring in our last guest of the night, and that's going to be head coach Codee Yeske. So, Codee, welcome.
Hey guys, thanks for having me.
And long time no see. I feel like I just hung out with you all day.
Spent the whole day together.
That's right. We just wrapped up softball media day today, and it was so much fun. Got to see the girls' personality a little bit, and just see how much fun we can have with them. Almost got taken out by a couple softballs, trying to get some footage, but that's, the nature of the job. But let's talk a little bit about this year's squad, Coach. You guys brought in a good number of freshmen, got some, did not lose anybody to the transfer portal. Everybody's back, got people back from injury. So this squad this year, what's different about this squad? Because we've said it all year. There's something different, little different vibe.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is that we returned, mostly everybody. Obviously, we graduated 3 last year and 2 significant contributors, and Devin Weller and JC Coleman. But we return pretty much the bulk of our starting lineup. And for the 2, we had Tamaya Whitlock and Saria Simmons splitting time last year in left field, but they were part-time starters, so they're going to be our everyday starters now in the outfield. And when Caitlin Boyette got an opportunity at shortstop, when Devin was out with some injury, she pulled through and did pretty great. So we feel really good about the amount of experience that we return. We have a ton of upperclassmen, obviously, that are going to play and be everyday kids for us. But we return a lot of talent. So we're really excited. We have a lot of kids that are hungry. Obviously, they were in that first year of the Peach Belt that we feel like we were in a lot of games and competed really well. And obviously we weren't too pleased with that outcome and not being able to go to the tournament last year. So a lot of those kids are back. They're really hungry. I'm excited to be a little bit more of our everyday kids and have that, now 2 years of Peach Belt experience under our belts. We feel like we're in a really good place. And I had 6 freshmen and a junior college transfer pitcher from Chat State who took them to the World Series this past year. So we really feel like we've shaped up for Team 14 really well, and we're really excited to take the field in just a week here.
Yeah, it's always been fun to watch this team evolve and to see the compete as the season went on, and to see you. I love that you mentioned Boyette, because she was a big spark plug, someone who really seized the opportunity when she got it. Tamaya Whitlock's another one. The outfield was really impressed with me. Saria Simmons. So especially when you look at the speed and the compete of this team in the outfield, but also elsewhere on this group, it's a ton of fun to see the future of where this team can go from here, especially with those upperclassmen that help lead the way. Certainly, a lot of it's Devin Weller will be very, very much missed alongside some others on this team. But Addie Reynolds, of course, she's coming back, a dynamic catcher who can hit for power, who can turn on moment's notice, player of the week a couple of times in the past year or two. So, the offense has really come along. And tell me about how you've worked with these players, and your assessment on how far the offense has come along so far through your couple of seasons so far in the Low Country.
Yeah, we, when we first got here, we were really focused on kind of bumping up our power numbers. So producing a little bit more runs, getting some more RBIs, kind of cutting down our strikeouts, giving ourselves more opportunities to score runs. And we feel like we've done a good job of that, but we're not doing such a great job at manufacturing all the time. So we were pretty high in our left on base last year. Still jumped in all of our offensive categories for the most part, and decreased in the ones where you wanted to, like strikeouts and stuff like that, and increased some of our freebies. But we feel like we were doing a good job of putting ourselves in a place to compete, but we just weren't getting the right people to pull through at the right moments. So that's been a big focus for us, really focusing on having a plan, manufacturing runs, being okay with maybe not getting the best swing off, but getting the job done. So those have been some conversations that we've been having in our individuals and in our team sessions where we're focused on offense. And so, we're really excited about the transition we've been able to make, given we've got some hitters that really, they do what they do really well, but getting them to kind of buy into a different role, a little bit more of that, like, I don't really care if I get a great swing off. I want to get a ball through the infield, or I want to hit the pitcher's best stuff and I want to make something out of that. So training a little bit more of that mentality and just making practice really hard for them. So hopefully the game it slows up and it's a little bit easier.
Yeah, that, in the scorebook, it doesn't matter what a blooper, a blooper or blast, it doesn't look any different in the scorebook. So
right.
I love that mentality. I think that's a huge thing with the squad. Get those manufactured runs, especially since that's what y'all really, really want to do this spring. So, but let's talk a little bit about the fall schedule. We've got that out here, and we start, in 6 days, and heading to your alma mater. I hope that this stays a regular, consistent fall schedule where you guys get to go up to Columbia and play the Gamecocks. So I got to join you guys last year, and I think it's a great opportunity for you guys out there to play a Division I caliber team who is a strong SEC contender, and they're under new leadership as well. One of your was Ashley a teammate of yours, or
not a teammate of mine. She graduated the year before I got in, but she was still around on staff. So I do know Ashley and have been able to follow her career a bit, and she's done a great job at Charlotte, and I think was the right choice for the role. Not that my opinion matters at all, but having somebody in that's got a little bit of stake in the program, I think is huge. Also a USCB alum up there helping lead it, and Katie Rekovich. So it's an exciting moment for us. It's like, it was full circle when we took them back the first year. But getting to go compete against USCB alum, who's also a friend of our families, it's really fun. It's full circle. So going to be a cool moment for us this Saturday or this next Saturday to get back up to Columbia and compete. We, knock on wood, have played them very well the last 3 years. So we look to continue that tradition. And I think because we're able to stay competitive, we're able to get them to continue to schedule us. So it's a great way to open our fall. It's a true test to where we're at, and gives us a good taste and a good insight into where we're at, because we get challenged early there, and it's a game that our kids get fired up for. Obviously, like anytime you get to go down and challenge Goliath, that's great. So we're excited about that. Our kids are getting ready. Anytime they get to see South Carolina on the schedule, it's exciting for them. So it's a fun day for us. Obviously, going and playing in a stadium like that, in front of those fans, at the place that made me who I am, and allowed me to continue to coach and has done so much for me. It's just a really cool moment. And it's weird to be in the other dugout, but it's exciting to do it with the group that we have. So I'm really excited about getting up there next week.
Yeah, we've got some history out there. You were the first one to hit a grand slam at that stadium, right?
I did some things. Yeah. Not too
things.
much, but it looks like I did a lot, but I was just in the right moments. So it's cool though.
That's gotta feel good. Let's go feel good if you get every time you get to go back there. It has to be such a fun treat for you. I mean, that's gotta make you feel good to reconnect with going up there again.
Yeah, it is. I'm 10 years graduated now, so it feels like it's a long time ago. So I don't know as many of the athletes that are there, as much as I used to, but I still keep up with the program, obviously. Want nothing but the best for them. So it's still really exciting to get to go up there, and it's a unique opportunity. I used to get to play against the coach that coached me, and now I get to play against someone that also was in there, playing there, and is also a former alum. So it's exciting. Anytime, it's exciting for me personally, but I think being able to give our athletes that experience is really, second to none. So it's really exciting to take them to a place that I know and I'm familiar with, and get to share some fun stories about some dumb stuff that I did when I was there and stuff like that. So it's a good time.
Yeah. And then to round out the rest of the schedule, keeping it in the USC system against USC Sumter on the 6th of October. And then you guys travel to another D1 program in Georgia Southwestern Statesboro on the 13th. And then you round out your fall schedule on the 27th of October with Georgia Military. And that's also going to be a big special day as well, because that is going to be the Allie Simmons I can't remember exactly what we're calling it. I've got the fall schedule up. So it's just, recognizing Allie Simmons with everything that's going on with her. So, Allie's a tremendous part of this program, graduated from this program, coached here for a number of years, and a great way to honor her. And you guys have done a tremendous job with that. So what can we expect for that last game against Georgia Military?
It's going to be exciting. We played Georgia Military last year, played them well. They are a competitive junior college team, so it's exciting to play them. But that day is obviously going to be all about Allie. We love Allie. I've known Allie since I was in high school. We played against each other. We were, some of the what she would say are some of the better shortstops in our graduating class, and we got to play against each other in travel ball and stuff like that. But and Allie is a special human being, and she's just someone that you have to know and experience to understand how much of an impact she can make on your life. But, Allie played here and coached here and has been involved with this program really ever since she left. And we have been lucky enough to call Allie a great family friend. We love her. We talk to her often, talked to her today on the way to the field. So she's super involved, and she has a pulse on our program, probably as good as any alum that we have. And so with everything that she's been through in the last few years, being able to bring her home and honor her and give her an opportunity to see her Sand Sharks compete. And she loves her Sand Sharks. They're second to none for her. So getting to spend a day, dedicated to Allie, and a day of softball and fun, it's going to be a really special day. So a day that's focused on Allie and everything that she's been through, and a day full of softball. She wouldn't have it any other way.
Softball fun. I mean, that's all it comes down to. This I could spend a whole day, just being out on a beautiful October afternoon or a beautiful spring afternoon, just be along the softball field, and I'd love to get the cleats on sometime and hit some balls. It seems like a fun thing. It's a way of life for you and this team. And how much have you enjoyed being a part of this low country story and this journey as you guys transition to eventually become potentially next year full members of the Peach Belt? I mean, it's got to be an exciting time for you in this program to now, it's become a vision, and now it's going to be reality very soon. So, can you believe we're getting close to the opportunity to become full-fledged Peach Belt members and Division II members?
Yeah, it's been, incredible. The transition, I think, of USCB as a whole has been really cool. But, I obviously am involved in the day-to-day to our program. And so for us to see the transition of where we took it over and where we're at now, it's pretty incredible. We feel like, we took over a competitive Sun Conference NAIA team, and we are, hopefully going to produce a competitive Peach Belt Division II team. And we feel really good about the transition, and we can't say enough about the people that we've brought in to help that transition. We wouldn't be anything without the athletes that we have and the buy-in that they have to my vision and Coach Owen's vision. And the program is exactly where we want it to be culture-wise. We're just I just said it today, we had some one-on-one meetings. we got to win some ball games. That has to happen. So, but we took the long road and got the culture piece right first. And so we feel really good about the product that we're going to put on the field out in February. We're excited to get to work and play somebody else instead of inter squad and all fall in the next week or so. But yeah, man, it's just, it almost doesn't feel real that this is year 4 and that we're going into a group full of what are my kids. And, it's everything that I want it to be right now. And so we're excited about continuing to build that and make it better, and continuing to put a product on the field that our university and our community are proud of. So we're excited about it. We hope that it's a product that everybody loves, and we're excited about becoming a better and bigger part of this community and this low country community, because I think it's going to be really special. Once we're able to continue to put a competitive product on the field, I think it's going to be something that people that are going to get in on the ground floor, like they're going to be excited to be a part of this for a long time. So we're really excited about everything and couldn't be happier about our kids and the way that they bought in and the way that they've worked. And they're going to continue to do that. And we're going to be real pleased at the beginning of May next year.
Absolutely. This is, I hopped back in, 2 years ago. That's when we first met and got this going. But I love that you said it was like, it's the long road, everybody's, we've talked about it before. The conference schedule last year was tough. We opened up with North Georgia, had a rough schedule, but those were the building blocks. Like you said, that's what is going to make them hungry for that game here in Hardeeville against North Georgia, to play those games at Columbus State, to bring everybody in here to go and fight and win right there. That, like you said, it might have taken the longer road to build that team chemistry and that team dynamic. And now, like you said, it's time to go get some wins. And I 100% believe that it's going to happen here. So, Codee, I want to thank you for your time out tonight. I know it's been a long day. We've been going since, 8:30 this morning. You guys probably before that. So can't wait to scroll through all those pictures, get those out there, get through some video. I can't wait to see you guys. I wish I could go with you this weekend. But make sure you guys take some pictures and get out there, and so we can post some fun stuff on social media. So again, I want to thank you for your time tonight, and we'll see you this week in the office.
Awesome. Thanks for having me, guys. I appreciate it.
All right. Thanks, Codee. Codee Yeske, our head coach for USCB softball. Yeah, Wes, this has been a phenomenal team. Again, like she said, we took the long road to get here, but now that the culture's in place and this is year 4 for her, and it's really going to build that dynamic that everybody is really looking forward to. So I can't wait for February to get out there. I love getting to work with these teams and doing our media days a little bit earlier and getting to kind of see their personality, where you're not trying to get to know them a little bit during the brunt of their season is a lot of fun. And you've been around this group as well. Last year you graduated with, or you had both JC and Devin and Z, who you watched when they were freshmen, and getting to see this continue to grow and all that kind of stuff. So this is gonna be an exciting time for you as well. But we've got a full slate of games coming up. Cross country held a dual meet this past week. It got rained out on Wednesday, and then we went first thing Friday morning. That was a long day for a lot of us, but Coach Terica Harris's crew is doing well so far. They compete this weekend in Columbia. Men and women's golf is getting underway tomorrow, so we are just in full-fledged let's go. It's here. So Wes, final thoughts before we wrap it up for the night?
Yeah, just count down the days until that Saturday, because that is going to be one heck of a soccer matchup. And, this is a statement opportunity for this team. We have seen them really shine throughout the start of this year, and this is now the point where you can put your name on the map in this conference. You can elevate yourself to a potential contender if you can pick up a win like this at home. And I'm just really proud and impressed of what everybody is, not just the older players, but the younger ones. Everybody is, like I said, fit their roles really well. And just the fact that they have hit the ground running this year and have done so well away from home, and now the opportunity to bring it back here to Finland Field and what should be a terrific crowd and a great atmosphere on Saturday. And it's a huge game. If you get this one, 6 points, 2-0, and that would be ideal to get 3. But it's going to be much easier said than done against the North Georgia team that has so many different weapons out there that can make it difficult for you to continue the success that we've seen. But it's going to be one heck of a game, and I expect it to be a tight one. I expect I have a feeling we could see some more maybe not last minute heroics, but like late second half heroics. I think it comes down to the last 25 minutes, like a 1-0 or a 2-1 kind of game.
Well, I surely hope it's not that dramatic because you know that we're going to be on the edge of our seats the entire time.
Right.
Yeah, so it's
worth it though.
it is worth it. But I mean, you know, our stress level gets a little high on game day. But
No
yeah,
doubt.
it's going to be a great game. But tomorrow both men and women's golf kick off. The women are up in McCormick at the Savannah Lakes Fall Invitational hosted by Lambert, and then the men's golf team is over in Gainesville, Georgia at North Georgia's Mizuno Intercollegiate. So 36 holes tomorrow for both of those squads, and it's going to be an exciting one coming up, and then they wrap it up on Tuesday. So we'll have hopefully be able to get Coach Corey Cottrell on the rewind next week after some strong performances on the links. So, but that's going to do it for this episode of the Sand Shark Rewind. For Wes Kerr, I'm Brackin Lambert, and as always, keep those fins up. Have a good night, guys.